Hey, what's up, tubers? It's Tony, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the fuel tank pressure sensor on an '07 Chevy Silverado 1500 Classic. The concept should be the same on your Chevy Silverado, but you will be the best judge of that after what I show you today. I'm also going to show you how to replace this sensor without lowering the fuel tank or jacking the vehicle up, okay? If you have check engine code P0454 down to 0451, you want to simply reset your check engine light after you replace the sensor. Now, what can generate this code, guys? A number of things. You could have a failing fuel pump. You could have a bad gas cap. You want to inspect the round part of your gas cap. You're looking for any cracks or any type of damage. The gas cap may not be on tight, causing 0454. You could have a wiring problem running to the sensor, meaning the electrical connector's wiring harness may have a busted wire someplace, okay? And then in general, the sensor simply fails, causing P0454. Now, be mindful of this. A lot of mechanics will tell you, especially the greedy ones, they'll tell you that you have a problem with your PCM, power control module. Every time I've replaced a sensor like such, guys, I never find that the power control module or the vehicle's computer is the fault. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be that special exception and have a problem with your computer. What I'm saying is, if someone tells you that it's your PCM, you probably want to get a second opinion, especially if it's not a mechanic that you truly trust, okay? This sensor sits on top of the fuel pump assembly, and you can access it from the driver's side of the vehicle right behind the gas door. And all you need to do is go down below and follow the filler neck hose underneath the vehicle. And then what you can do to give you an idea of what you're dealing with, etc., is turn your camera on, turn the light on, run it back there, try and get yourself a picture. It's a tight spot for the camera, but there's more than enough room for you to stick your hands back there. That will at least give you an idea of what you're working with. But basically, you're just going to reach back there, guys. The electrical connector is the type of tab that you pluck up and pull away from the sensor. Then you just grab the sensor itself and pull out of its housing, okay? Very simple. While the electrical connector is disconnected, you want to inspect it. You're looking for broken wires, rust, corrosion. If such fault is found, that needs to be dealt with. Let's say you find no such fault. With your new sensor in hand, push the electrical connector in, and then take your finger, reach back there and guide it back to that hole. Guide this little rubber part back to the hole and just push it down and make sure that it's seated. I've already replaced the sensor, but I'm going to pull it out in this video just for you. I had I had two old fuel tank pressure sensors lying around from Chevy Silverados, and I saved them. So what I did was I went to Advanced Auto Parts and bought this new sensor made by NTK. There's the part number. It was $55 at Advanced Auto Parts. Of course, you can order it online, much cheaper, but then you would have to wait for it to come in. So I said to myself, if that old sensor didn't work, then I had a new sensor just in case. But since the old sensor did work, and it turned out the check engine light, and I've been driving the truck with no problems, I'm just going to simply return this sensor and get my money back. If the old sensor should fail at some point in time, I'll just go and buy a new sensor, okay? So always remember, after you replace the sensor, simply reset your check engine light, and you should be good to go. Also, signs of a failing fuel tank pressure sensor: you can notice poor fuel economy, okay? Also, you can smell a lot of gas or gas fumes. That's typically a sign that this sensor has failed as well. Aren't cars extremely interesting, folks? So let's go down below. I'm not going to be able to show you everything, but I'll do my best. I'm going to pull the sensor out, show you how the electrical connector is mated here, so you have an idea of what you're looking at. And then I'm just going to put the sensor back in its housing. But remember, disconnect the electrical connector, grab the sensor firmly, and you just have to pull it out, put it back in, connect the electrical connector, then guide your finger over to the hole and push this part of the sensor back in its hole. You want to make sure the electrical connector portion is pointed back towards the gas door, just like you found it. So to access the sensor, it's right behind the gas door, but of course you need to go up under the truck. There is your filler neck hose. Just follow it straight underneath the truck. And back there you'll see that little shiny part. Although it's not the best picture, that's where your fuel pump assembly is located, okay? And just reach back there, guys. Disconnect the electrical connector and then pull the sensor out. Now, I'm going to try not turn the camera off, so I'm going to have to pause the camera, okay? So what I've done is I've disconnected the electrical connector, okay? It plugs into the sensor like this, okay? So now I'm going to reach back there and firmly pull the sensor up. Just be mindful and patient, guys. I'm going to have to get up under the truck a little bit more. You have to take your time with pulling the sensor out. And there's the sensor, okay? So inspect the sensors, electrical fins, just like you're going to inspect the electrical connector, okay? Making sure that there's nothing busted or broken, rust, corrosion, etc. Now I'm going to show you that's how the sensor gets connected. The tab is on top, so you see it. And now all you have to do is just reach back there, guys, and feed your finger towards that hole. You'll find it. It's real easy. And then push that down with the sensor's electrical connector facing back towards you like so. Again, I'm trying not to accidentally turn the camera off, so hold tight. So this is real doable, guys. See, right here is the fuel tank pressure sensor on this vehicle. Again, you see where I am, filler neck, follow that hose in, and it's right there. You can easily grab it, okay? Here it is, right there, right here, okay? So it's pretty easy for the most part, guys. You just want to make sure that sensor is pushed all the way down and seated. So that's it for the most part, guys. Again, just make sure you reset your check engine light. And remember, if you have p0454, it means that you probably have an issue with your fuel tank pressure sensor, which is located on top of your fuel tank or fuel pump assembly, okay? This is really doable if you take your time. For those of you who are not really savvy with cars, again, pull your camera out. Try and stick your camera back there with the video player running so you have an idea of where things are, so you grab the correct sensor. But remember, as you look inward and you're sticking your hands inward, this sensor is going to be to the left a little bit, okay? But you'll be able to feel this sensor because it feels differently from the one sitting next to it to the right. All right, folks, I hope the video has been helpful. I always try and help people and explain things in as much detail as I possibly can. I know that there are people who want us video makers to work magic and, you know, produce videos in a hot second, but sometimes when you're trying to give good information and help people, you can't rush, guys. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. And now you know how to replace the fuel tank pressure sensor without lowering the fuel tank or jacking the vehicle up. You want to make sure the vehicle is secured so it can't roll or anything of that nature by accident. and you know where the fuel tank pressure sensor is located. Take care, guys. Catch you next time.